I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All Complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CT Review. Today is October 14th, Tuesday, 2025. Hope you had a good day. Buddy, like I mentioned yesterday, look at this. So I said, looking for a retracement back somewhere into the gap. Looked at this 25%, looked at this 50. I gave some examples, but remember the main thing I'm looking at is something like this, right? Number one. Number two, seasonality when we're bullish. Either way, with this big bounce, I expect a retracement for to continue with an expansion. The video yesterday saying retracement to expansion ? And that's what this is. Now I made the video here. What do? We came up to this gap right here, came up a little bit deeper into this breakout area, and then just rolled over the whole time. Asia, London, I was mentioning that, and then New York, we end up rolling right to it, dump pump. Beautiful. I mean, fucking beautiful. And for the people who are new, I'm gonna show the trades, but before I do, even measuring the low here. All right, there's not a lot of shit on my chart, so don't get lost in this. So just low to high. Look at the 61. Look at that 61 perfectly. Oh my God, dude. I'm going to delete that for a second, but this was drawn yesterday. So we pierced that. Now, you can see with the raid here, right? Getting into that area I talked about. You can see this Wednesday from last week as well. But in general speaking, this imbalance, you can look at 50 of it, 50% of it. And then if you look at the smaller time frame, I did a couple measurements, and you can see 2 to 2.5 down here. And then that wasn't really that necessary for the conversation, but what was the real conversation of how I bought this? And I'll just go to it. How did I accomplish something like this? Right? You might be thinking, oh, you're a scammer, right? Look, what's this level here? That's the settlement of yesterday's opening range gap, the lower quadrant, right? Sealment perfectly. Look where my entry is. But look what's more important. Besides that, this is really more important. But look at this. You see the body sit. Look at the 15-minute. The 5-minute is very clear too. It's sitting right at the 25%. So what does that mean? That's the 930 candle, right? What's the next one? 945 time, right? Look at the pattern here. Look at 930 here. First of all, we got the lower lows and lower highs, all right? And the retracement, that's what you want to see. And I swear, my mother, I was with my wife yesterday and we were having dinner, and I wanted to take this. Price was like right here, and I was like, bro, take this down here. And sure enough, I did not. Now, the amount of trades I have in Asia are like less than a handful, right? But this is something that I would have took or should have took, right? But that's okay. No big deal. I said yesterday very clearly, there's always moves, right? At least 2 at minimum. I don't care what any day it is. And even yesterday, like obviously we had 4 moves yesterday. Up, so down, up, right? But small range, and it's consolidating, and it's a Monday, and blah, 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 after a holiday and all that conversation. So it doesn't matter. But if you are to trade this type of bullshit day, then you know that when you take liquidity, you come back in and you buy a higher low, or vice versa, right? Just to the left of the chart rating. Anyway, let me not veer off the magic here. The point is that the 15-minute is resting on that. The next 15-minute, you see this stupid wick that they shoot down like that? That's the wick of the next candle, right? And then when we cross over, it's a bullish candle. This is the most beautiful pattern and price action you will ever see in your life, period. So how did this happen? So 930 here. First of all, I'm not sure what 930 is going to do. Obviously, I do know that if there's no raid, there's no trade, right? Write that down. No raid, no trade, right? But in general, we push down here, and then this is a lower high in here. So it reaches up, then it's pushing down. It's the first imbalance here. We're hunting that. See how the price action was sitting here originally? Why? Pre-New York. Well, I don't trust something like that, first of all, because there's the rest of this inefficiency on this opening range gap. That's number one. Number two, you'll generally want to see a raid before you reverse anyway. And you're going to say, well, there was a raid right there, and we came in for a higher low here. Yeah, that's possible. But guess what? The price action here at 930 didn't go up. Okay, there's obviously options in that scenario. Like if it pumped first and then it was weak and then it came back down, right? But in general, it went down though. Okay, fine. I'm expecting this already, right? So what does it do? Comes all the way down. Why do I not buy this one here? Number one, it's not hitting a quadrant. Number two, this is not sealed. And number three, this is the first drive. You're not buying the first drive. We're looking for 2 or 3 drives at minimum, right? So what does the price do? Then it creates these 4 candles. 1, 2, 3, 4 straight. That's exactly what you want to see. And in this move, I am expecting to see this inversion hold as support. And then I also have this imbalance here on the bullish. I could have put another inversion right here. I could have put another one right there, and it would have been just fine. It didn't matter. They both overlapped each other, which means it's also a balanced price range. But the move down, the imbalance that pushes down for a new low is generally going to be that support. This is just as beautiful it gets. So how did I get in this? It rated and I got in. Period. Like literally. And I have time, and I expect this to push back up for a V shape as a expansion to equate a reversal. But the thing is that if I didn't get into here, right, I'm very clear about what I'm doing. I'm pushing enter on my entry is literally that price, because no one is pushing buy until they are at this price. Oh, white folks. Okay. So guess what? Raids, and it pushes up. Now I'm in that 945, 15-minute candle. Pushes up, comes down to the tick. Hits that 50%, pops up, comes back in. Then look at the bodies right here. Look at the bodies. Look at the bodies. That's not coincidence. This is not buyers and sellers, obviously. I got a little projection here with just the bodies. Could have done this many ways, but just for now, that's fine. And obviously, my goal up here is first is getting into this. No matter what happens, right? My goal is to get into this 1 and 1.5 and this first imbalance. Okay, we pop up to it and we bounce from it and then we push up. Before I get there, more about this. If I didn't get this trade, all right, if I didn't enter here, what would have been my next entry? Would have been right here. This candle, once it crosses over, that's an entry because it's a bullish candle. Doesn't pop in. You expect it to maybe tap the open of it? No, it's strong. Where's my next entry? Obviously that imbalance right there with the tagging the 50%, or when it comes in, you want to put your entry there, wait for 50, whatever. All right. Where's my next entry? This inversion right here. Anywhere in here, right? Because you expect it to hold price. So just fucking fire. And then point is here is that I want to get above it. I want to get above here because my real goal is where, and I'm showing you very clear right here. Why? Because that's the 930 level. It was easy to sell it. Number one. Number two, you got liquidity right here. They build this pre-New York. All right. So then they can come back later and get it. So if you look on the 15-minute, you can see very clear those equal highs here, all these highs here, right? See that? So I'm circling that. So was the -2 and 2.5 in my, I'm also incorporating that. So, but, oh shit, give me 1 second here. Okay, sorry. So, so what's my goal? Well, I don't want to get to it and just close it. I have to allow retraces. It bounces right on that fucking opening gap of the week. And then we push above that first imbalance, and then we have this price action here. So I'm squeezing it up because right now, responsible thing to do is obviously take the profit and squeeze up, and I can get back in. But what if this became a lower high? Well, we're not looking at that because I'm expecting this 15-minute candle that I'm currently in right now. As you see, I'm expecting it to close up and be like an engulfing pattern. As some people say, like you get the down candle, and then you have these two candles. They take 2 for it to engulf, which is still considered a V shape, right? But I'm squeezing out to protect it, and it's a great profit, and I don't care if it goes up or down and whatever, right? So then what? Look how I squeeze out here, and we dip right into the 50. Look where my entry is. This is very specific. I'm at the 50. I let it come back down, and because what? Guess what? I haven't met my objective, and this is technically my minimum objective. Yeah, clear all the way back up. Sure, but this is my minimum objective, right? And guess what? Put it in. You get an imbalance right there, bounce, and then boom, we're starting a boner candle, right? So then I'm going to trail here. But the purpose of this, and plus, for me, we're not on an oversold yet either. We're still bouncing around, so that's why I'm still flowing with it. I mean, just beautiful, beautiful. And as you can see here, what did we do? All right, we push up here. We get to the 25, playing around. And before I even keep going, generally speaking, if I'm going to stick with the market and keep trading, excuse me, this is buy one. Yeah, does this speaker. But until it raids a consolidation low, then that's not the next entry. So boom, right there. You can also use, I didn't have to highlight anything else. I love when days are early. Close 688.5, open, I'm sorry, close is 681.5 and open is 681.5. Okay, fine. Okay, so raids that, boom, taps in, right? And we're at the 25, and then we push up shy of the 50 on purpose. All right, we've actually reached a 3.5 to 4 here, right? By the way. But again, I could have done this differently, but I'm not even going to go into that. Make a new high, retrace back. We come back into this last down candle, still supporting, and pretty much this one too. And then, so this is the high, and that's the higher low. That's the high, and that's the higher low. This one's deep. Yep, no wick on there. Fine. They don't want to get you on the ride. And then it's support the whole way. So buy one, buy two, and then buy three, pushing up, buy three. Forget, I'm not going to include this because this did not take out this high, and then this low didn't take out the low. So it's just an internal high and higher low in this leg from here to here. All right, so buy one, buy two, buy three, retrace, comes back to a support breakout level. And by the way, when I say breakout levels, you're gonna say, and I talk about it all the time, you're like, well, why didn't it come to here or the 930? It could have. But if you're really bullish, and you know me, I'm always attacking breakout levels and inefficiencies. But the reason why is because there was price action being worked here, number one. Number two, it could have came in there in the 930, it's fine. But number three, it's really bullish for it. And look at the size of the candles. The market condition that you're in, you have big price action candles, right? A lot of these candles are freaking 20 points by itself, right? And plus, so if you might have got scared about that, no, the framework was still the same. You just got to know how to adjust your trade. But you don't want it to come and tap this breakout level. You don't want it to. If you're bullish, you really don't want to. Will it come back a little bit? Yes, sure. But you don't want it to. And that's a perfect example of this conversation of, anyways, look at this motherfucker. So I was about to say I'm looking for a retrace soon and then expansion, but what do we say? Retracement, then expansion, right? So beautiful, fucking beautiful, dude. And then what's it called? So retraces back deep, support, push up, support, using the 25% of the opening range gap, and then boom, we break through it. We birdie straight up, right? Slither up, I call it, and then fall short of this price action here, which is that gap, and just if you look at yesterday, by the way, the PM session, first imbalance there, and then I'm sorry, the AM session, and then the PM session is in this green. See these two levels? Hopefully you can see it, but it's kind of. Let me try to stretch it out a little bit, real quick. Look how when we were sitting there, we used it as support. We had it's coupled with the opening day gap today, and the midnight level is right there. So I use super fucking confluence to come up here, right? And we sold right from it down here in Asia. Then look what happens when we get to here. Do you think this is random? Look at the AM session. Look how they use that as resistance in Asia. Look at that. Look at the body sitting right there at 50%. That is perfect. Yeah, outside the lines, that's fine. But look at that, right? So, anyways, oh, beautiful. And this was an easy move. So, obviously, coming back to take some people in the bag is obvious. So, breakout levels there, and they're coming back to the 50%. You can see it algorithmically coming to the 50% live while we're talking, right? Okay, so anyways, we fall short of the 75, the top 75, and it comes back to the 50, okay, support level, and then here's an imbalance right there. Perfect. Another higher low, pushes back up, body sitting in that gap from an old week. Beautiful. That's perfect. Tags at 25, tags this breakout, another imbalance. That's the same scenario as this. Just beautiful, man. And then what? Coming now and consolidating around those 3 price points, which is the opening gap, the midnight level, and the sealment, and which is coupled with the PM session of yesterday. Where'd my mouse go? Jesus. Okay. So look at that. Boy. Oh man. So literally going sideways the rest of the day here, and then I don't even care. Doesn't matter. But shooting straight down here. And they want to get this guy. Why? Because that's as easy as it gets. Right there. You have resistance plus support. So keeping it simple, reading price action. Obviously, I do well at reading price action in my opinion. But who was telling you the day before this flow? No one. No one. I promise you, no one's doing this. No divergence work really here. There was a little higher high here with Nas. I'm sorry, not Oz. What do you call it? With S&P on these 925 and 930 candle, but that didn't matter. The narrative was still the same. So in harmony here and moving. So let me see here. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter what that was doing. Dollar consolidating, and the VIX was very clear too. Also coming up, initially being what is the word? Manipulative here at the 930. We're pushing. Remember, we're pushing up with the VIX, and we're pushing down with us. Once this reaches this high, look at this, 1, 2, 3, look at that. Then you're on an overbought. Then it's coming to an oversold. I even put the RSI on the VIX. Why? I mean, it's not perfect when I use the RSI, but I mean, it's undeniable that it works if you know how to use it. But anyways, that's not the point. The point is that the VIX is coming down the rest of the day, and this is buying, and then we turn around here. Oh, it's not a coincidence. Yeah, it takes time. Then it takes off. Could have been anywhere in those cells that we just had now, and it's still selling while we're talking here. Wow. Oh my God. Easy. But I'm not going to be a part of it. But, what? Because this is a birdie day. It turns into a birdie day. So dump pump at its best. So, turns into a buy, sell, buy. You see buy here, now it's a sell, and then whenever it's settled, I'm assuming to continue forward, it's going to be another buy. It's a higher low. We had a 61 here. Right now, you're probably coming back into a 50% range soon, and so on. But again, the price action, it breaks through, and and again, it's going to come to what I just discussed earlier. Maybe why? Because this was easy. This was easy, and that's why they're coming back, right? So Also a beautiful swing. I understood that on the 4 hour that we were sitting at, if it's a 9:30 manipulation, I want to see 10 o'clock expand. So I'm holding with that 10 o'clock. I'm super early, but I'm expecting all of this to actually perform. If it had kept coming lower, I wouldn't have fucked with this day. This not A. It would have, the day would have been over, or B, I would have been looking for a buy down here more. Okay, so it's very simple, but weekly levels and specific levels that I'm dealing with. So I hope that makes sense, right? And then what's it called? Yeah, just came to 25% now. Look how we came underneath the 50. Bink. Look at the body sitting on the 25. Could be a great buy right now, but I'm not dealing with it. But it's just fire, man. I don't know what else I could say. Let me move forward. Breakout level for obvious breakout level for Dow. Came right back to that. And then I was saying about I was giving you game about the swing here. So I'm seeing this candle, this 6 to 10 o'clock candle. I'm expecting this to be a wick. I'm expecting it to close strong for the bullish side and be a this type of the price action, the type of candle it is. I'm expecting it to be the second candle of the swing, and the third candle, which is the 10 o'clock fucking distribution, or the 4 hour candle. I'm expecting it to expand, and that's what we were doing here. That's exactly what we were doing here. Again, doesn't get better. Look at the price. Look at the candles itself here. Forget everything I've already mentioned about the fire to the left. And it's not for pattern's sake, but you can see the actual bodies of what they're doing and all that. So that it's just experience, dude. There's no, So, anyways, when the price. Okay, so let's put it like this: 9:30 drops here, right? And then you're pushing up here. When do you say for sure that it's buying? Again, I already know this, but okay, make a new high here. Okay, it could just roll over. It's a lower high, bro, right? And then, boom, pushes through with strong closed candles. Right there, this tells you it's buying. So if you're the last resort dude buying here, that's why the price is coming and attacking it down here. Right? Fucking beautiful day, bro. Oh my goodness. But it's just that real, man. And then I'm trading the asset itself versus looking at anything else, but you can see that we gapped down, we stayed down here, and the price is still down here, and it's looking a little heavy. But again, we've had an expansion from that low, and now we're when the price pushes down here, it's wiped out these people. The price pushes up just to wipe out now the easy sellers. Then the obvious reason why I said I wanted to retrace an expansion was because from here, I expected to come back down and wipe out some buyers. And then from there, I'm expecting to push back up for wiping out some easy sellers. That is a simple flow. This doesn't match NASDAQ, but it didn't matter. I wasn't looking at it. I didn't need to. But it didn't sway my understanding of what we were doing coming back up here. Look. That's perfect. But let me adjust this just to see what it looked like on this. And then if you're asking why, what the hell am I? If you're asking why I use this swing, I was doing it from here too. These 4 bullish candles, I did it here as well. If you look at that, you'll see 2 to 2.5 and reaches over. But I did it here. Why would I do it from here to here? Because that is a low that raids the left side, and then that's the external. So it's external low and external high. So I'm measuring that, because when we break through, and it was a little more helpful. And you can see the majority of the the price action is here in the bodies. But yeah, it reaches out. But then that's why I'm conversating. That's why we don't heavy rely on just one thing, or you got to be loose and a little flexible. And I know you might think it's a lot of shit on the chart. It's not. But anyways, this logic was really all I needed, and that's exactly why I drew. this. Well, even when I from here to here to here, when I'm doing this, can't you see that's a fib retracement level? Like just eyeballing, right? So that's not random. But oh, look at this. Did they come lower? No. But okay, so I need to be done. And then what can I say now? Okay. Well, before all this happened, I was gonna say this. I was gonna say, okay, well, we come up, we squeeze everybody here. Notice how we. By the way, yeah, I mentioned this already, right? Those. When I made the video here, what do? We push up strong with these suspect raid candles, and then it's just boom. It's a reversal. So expansion, expansion. That's how we start the retracement, right? That's the phase. But anyways, here when we come up here, okay, cool, weak right here, bodies, and at the least it's coming here. No matter what is gonna happen here, um, generally before they a high like this, they'll make liquidity here to retrace back to wipe out buyers here, and then from here you want to see a swing. You want to see a push back up and then wipe out that liquidity in the bullish conversation. So right now on the daily, oh, and also I have this quadded here. Almost fucking forgot. So you see this quadded here, the high to the low, and under the 25%. If I'm going to be a buyer, I want to see that price come underneath that level. All right, I want to get into an imbalance that gets created underneath that 25%, and then we can push back up to 50. Now this is where 50 is. And then obviously, you want to see your next opportunity underneath this 50, buy somewhere here, and then come up now to where? The 75, and ultimately the new high. So we're grading that last retracement, right? And notice how when we, again, we push more up, and I've already explained that. So, all right. So what I was going to say in this video before this happened is, okay, either it's going to just push right through, or it's going to retrace, right? So is expansion for this moment done, or is it going to retrace? They just retraced it now. Now the next daily candle, you have that wick here. Look at swing points here. We got a low, low, low. Those are higher than the last one, right? So if this was a 1 minute chart, and I just gave you the example like on the 4-hour, okay, we came in and we dipped into there. Okay, so maybe this is the new swing. Yesterday's low, which was Monday, the open. Today we made a low, and then in a perfect world, if we're bullish, you're going to want to see tomorrow, Wednesday, dip in maybe into this wick here. However, respect at least 50% of it, could go to 50% of it, and then turn back up. So I'll draw it, and I make videos long for nothing. Let's just say, whatever. Let's just, and then we continue with after a retracement now back into an expansion. So depending on how they do this, if you look at this breakout area, like I just got done talking, it could come right back to that. Could come right back into this wick if it wants to come deep. If they want to really pull the rug, hey, they can go straight through. But it looks like a little bit of too much hard work to do that. But this is still empty. And then you're saying, well, how did you buy this or feel comfortable buying this because they didn't seal it? I actually didn't, but because I understood the raid here of liquidity right there, I understood the 25%. Look at the bodies tipping the hand. And then I'm also just sealed yesterday's opening range. So, and I'm like, okay, well, if it has to buy from here, otherwise it's done. I'm not fucking with it. And it just, is there luck on my side here? Maybe. Could they have kept going lower? Sure. But I mean, this easy selling liquidity here was a big agenda, but looks like they're going to hold here on this 25%. You never know, man. So easy to drive one, back, drive two. Is that enough to push it back up? We don't know. Is it going to be another one coming back to 930, then turning back? Using a fib. I mean, just logical price action. You got a closure here above. You could have put your entry here. I don't need to put my stop loss all the way down because that's what it would take if you took that kind of trade. If you're looking on the 15 minute. You just say, I'm going to wait for the change of delivery. I'm going to wait for it to close up. Well, I don't feel comfortable buying up here, putting a stop loss, and then aiming for 1 or 2R, right? As you see it pulled back, I'd have to take profit. I'd rather just squeeze it and be consistent. I talk about this all the time. When you're content, that creates consistency, and consistency creates profitability, a good life, and balance, right? And that's just every area of your life. But I think I've said enough, man. 30 minutes. This is just fire. And just so you know, from right now, I want you guys to you need to like this fucking video. Otherwise, because I'm really losing interest in doing this. I'm doing this because I know there's about 5 new viewers or whatever. But I need to see engagement. All right. It sounds horrible. I just hate even saying it. You don't need to, but I mean, you got to be eating. I mean, I hope you know how to trade. And listen, I'm not telling you that you need to watch this, so otherwise you're not going to be profitable. But I do this to sharpen my knife, number 1. Number 2, I do this to help people and teach. Number 3, if I make the video and then I turn around and I even watch my video, who are you to think that you shouldn't watch the video? Which all 15 of you that watched it, great yesterday. But you get what I'm saying? Like I'm always open to other people's knowledge and things like that. But if it's a 30-minute video, don't think that you shouldn't be watching this because it's free. But anyways, you get my point, right? So imbalance on the 1 hour right there. We tapped the open, so that's why you get a reaction there. It could really buy from there, and that was it. They're not going to even. They just wanted to wipe all the people who were last second buying here, but they squeezed them out so much that now they don't want to be in it, but then their trade is still good. They might not come in here. Well, who knows? We'll see. But on the 4 hour, you'll see we have created an imbalance there. The language of the next 4 hour candles should literally just be a higher low of a low and then just push up. Right, that's as you see, I'm drawing. I also have drawn it coming underneath it, so we might come underneath it and then create a swing, and then the next candle will be the higher low or candle 3 to expand. And that's just trying to keep it simple. On a daily, this is very common to see this price action. For example, here. Remember when we shot down really hard right here and we pushed back up all the way? Look what we did on this day. And this is also a Tuesday. It came up and then it retraced back in. And then what did the next candle do? Just push straight up, and then we continued. So this is very, very similar to where we are, what we're doing now. Down, pushed back up, retraced back in, and now we're in the motion of expanding back up again. But this is very similar to this, which is just beautiful. Hope that makes sense. So they might just leave this empty. But the other reason why I wasn't really gung-ho about holding it for my target here was because it's Tuesday, and it's very possible that they could have made this a dud day where it's like, okay, they did this, they keep the price around. We've already moved a lot in these ranges from the previous moves. So it could have been like a transition day, and then Wednesday fucking, whatever. And that's why I just kept it simple and whatever. So you guys take care and God bless.